Hello once again, everybody. I'm Jake Luce, and welcome to my video coaching newsletter. The title of today's video coaching newsletter is College Recruiting is a Vicious Cycle. I have a quote that I'm going to read, and then we're going to go through an email actually from a kid that was a big kid in high school, but ended up ultimately getting hurt, and now he's a sophomore in college and wanted to shed some light on his story and how he would do things differently the next time around if he had a second chance, which unfortunately in this deal and in this process you don't have second chances. So here we go. The quote says, college recruiting is only stressful if you allow it to be so. You control what you worry about, and those that have the ability to monitor their thoughts will have the most balance and be the most productive on the field. That's a lot easier said than done, especially when what you're doing isn't working and no scholarship offers are coming in. You know what they say, insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Parents and prospects do this all the time. They try to do the same thing over and over again and hope a coach will see them and offer them a scholarship. Sadly, this is just not how the process works. Behold the vicious cycle of college recruiting. The cycle creates fear of the unknown, fear of not being able to play at the next level, fear of not being able to even pay for college. So when you combine those things, it's a recipe for disaster and a lot of emotions going into it. There's also the fear of embarrassment, of failure, of letting other people down. As an athlete, you're always compared to others, and so there's a lot of things that play into this. Ask any high school athlete or parent that truly cares about their sport. They will tell you at least some of these thoughts have entered their mind at some point. As an upperclassman with any sort of talent, there is a place for you at the next level. It's just up to you to get yourself out of the vicious cycle and find someone who can help you with the process. So with that said, let's go ahead and go through his email. He says, "Hey Jake, I've been following your videos for a while now, and your advice is on the money. In high school, I was listed at 6'2", 190 pounds with good projectability as a right-handed pitcher. Now I'm a sophomore in college, not playing baseball. High school ball, then summer ball, showcases, off-season with the high school team, and then back at it again the next year. I felt like I was caught up in this endless cycle of trying to earn coaches' attention, and nobody was helping me. I ultimately ended up getting hurt and wasn't able to pitch anymore. I tried to get help from my coaches to get me recruited, but there was no real effort put in. I just thought it would be good for other guys to hear this to help them not make the same mistakes that I did." Good for you, bro. Good for you. That's awesome. It's really hard to do what you do, and I wish I would have had you when I was in high school. So, well, ultimately, you didn't know what you didn't know, man. That's a great email because it kind of exposes a lot of the things that ultimately go overlooked in the college recruiting process, and that's how many guys end up falling through the cracks because they were not educated and they didn't have a plan going into this. So he says that he was, he's 6'2", 190 pounds. I mean, as a senior in high school or any age in high school, obviously, 6'2", 190 pounds, that's good size, and coaches are going to take that into consideration when evaluating you. But he says he's a sophomore, not playing baseball, and I think the reason that is because you had no plan coming into this process, bro. You looked at this situation and ultimately thought, well, I'm big, I throw hard, I'm going to get seen, I start on varsity, and coaches are going to find me. And that is the mindset that so many people make, and they go into this process thinking if they have any sort of ability that they're going to get seen. Their buddy got seen on the same team, so of course they're going to get seen, right? Because they're almost as good as their buddy. This couldn't be further from the truth. It's just not true. It's just not how it works. And so when you have guys that send emails like this saying that they wish they would have had us, it's a little bit sad, but at the same time, you can't save them all. And so that's why we do what we do, and that's why I love what I do, is because we get to help people all across the board from all different states and different countries, and we get to ultimately have an impact on their life, and that's what we want to do, because we're not going to be able to save them all. There's going to be emails like this that come in And ultimately, like I said, he had no plan entering this process. So you have to ask yourself, is this something that you want to gamble on? Because that's ultimately what you're doing. You're saying, my measurables, I'm 6'2", 190 pounds, so ultimately my measurables are going to be able to give me the attention, and coaches are going to flock to me, and they're going to give me offers. And ultimately that just didn't happen, and that's just because that's not how the process works. Size definitely helps. It's one of the first things that coaches look at, but that's not going to be the only thing that they look at, because there's a lot of big kids out there that have no athletic ability, and there's a lot of kids that are trying to get those spots, and especially trying to get that scholarship. That's what the ultimate goal is. That's what everybody's going for. Over 500,000 seniors this year playing high school baseball, and only 2% of those guys will ever even get to put the jersey on for a Division I school, much less earn a scholarship. So if that gives you an idea of the numbers that you're looking at, that's why you have to find somebody. If you're not going to do it yourself, you got to find somebody that's going to help you. So if you're going to gamble on this deal, just don't do it with your career. And that's ultimately what this kid did. Is he gambled? Obviously, he didn't have a whole lot of guidance from his parents. He gambled and he lost. And ultimately, that's a really sad story. But at the same time, it should shed some light on why this process is so key, because there's so many kids out there that this is their exact same story. So the good thing is he says, I just thought it'd be good for other guys to hear this to help them not make the same mistakes I did. Like I said, good for you, bro. I mean, the best thing that you could do at this point really is to share your story. And fortunately, I appreciate the email, because I can do a video newsletter on it. And hopefully a prospect or a family hears this, and hopefully they see it and they're like, man, I need to have a plan. I need to educate myself. I need to get myself involved. So that's how you have to think about this, is there is no time to waste. Okay, if you waste time, then you're ultimately costing yourself scholarship dollars. You're ultimately costing yourself opportunities, because everybody wants your job. You can get my help personally by reaching out to me via our website, luceprospectgroup.com, the Luce Prospect Group Facebook page by just typing Luce Prospect Group into the search bar on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Also, if you or someone you know is interested in becoming a prospect, be sure to click the Become a Prospect link above or below this video and fill out that quick questionnaire to get your college recruiting process started today. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.